Alright, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Thank y'all for tuning in. For those of y'all that don't know, today is my grandmother's birthday. And for this particular video, I wanted to share a little story with y'all about her. By the way, she would have been 66 years old if she had lived. May she rest in peace. Happy birthday, Grandma. Yeah, she would have been 66. Um, anyway, I wanted to share some stories with y'all. So this is, I don't know why my hood look crooked, but anyway, so this is officially story time. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Oh, let me show you a picture of my grandmother. Yeah, that's Granny. Yeah, my grandmother, she was oh, and knowing my big Steve Urkel smile, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I don't know. But but yeah, that's my grandmother right there, y'all. And she passed away in um in 2017. I lost her about 2, 3 years ago. Um but life goes on and you have to keep pushing, you have to keep moving. For me, it really hasn't been that easy for me to move on. Um, I get emotional whenever I think about my parents. My mom or my grandmother. You know, who have also passed on. My mother, who have also passed on. Um, because I miss them so much. But like I said, I thought it would be therapeutic for me to share a story with y'all. So here it goes. Um, my mother, my grandmother, as you could tell from the picture, was a beautiful woman. She had a larger than life personality, and she always spoke her mind. She always kept it 100, kind of like myself. Uh, you know, I come from a family of very outspoken people. We always said what we felt. And my grandmother was the same way. She didn't mind cussing you out, but at the same time, she, still loved you. So that's how I was raised, because my mother passed away first, and then, when I was about 23, that's when I lost my grandmother. I'm 26 now, so yeah, I lost about 3 years ago. Anyway, um, but yeah, my grandmother, she was very firm, but she was fair. She always demanded respect. Even she had to beat it out of you. I have been, so blessed to have her in my life and for her to be a part of my life. Because if it hadn't been for my grandmother, I probably wouldn't even be here. Because after my mom passed, I battled with anxiety and depression, suicidal thoughts, all that, for the longest time, and she was right there every step of the way to help me through it. Although since she passed, it kind of done resurfaced, especially during the holidays and special occasions where everybody is you know spending time with their families, and I'm by myself. I'm alone pretty much. So that's depressing as hell. Um, it's something that I hate to talk about, but like I said, I feel like it might be therapeutic. You know. Um, but yeah, my grandmother, she was she was pretty much like me. She didn't really get out too much. She stayed to herself. Didn't really have that many friends. Um, she was just content staying in the house. Watching movies. Pretty much. I know that sounds boring to most people, but it could be the most peaceful thing on the planet once you get used to it. Trust me, I know. Cause that's the way my lifestyle is now. Um, but but yeah, she wasn't really the type to go out unless I was taking her somewhere. Like to the grocery store or sometimes we would go to the movies. Um, yeah, or maybe out to eat. That was her favorite hobby, by the way. It's sad to say that, but you know, she really she really loved to eat, as you could tell from the picture. She she really loved to eat. I don't think she ever met a plate that she didn't like. And I say that with love. I say it with love because we will always be joking and clowning each other, which is what I miss the most. Because every time we would go out to eat, especially if it was an all you could eat buffet, she would she'll have about like 3 or 4 plates, and she'll get mad at me because I would get full off of just one. And she'd be like, I ain't spending $50 just for you to eat one plate. Like, oh man, because the all you can eat buffets that we went to, it was quite expensive. Um, but I was like, if you treating, I'm eating. So hey, hey, it is what it is. She paying for it, so you know. But she was like, I'm never taking you to all you can eat buffet again if you're not gonna get your money's worth. So but I couldn't help that I had a small appetite. That's just the way I was. I didn't really eat as much as she did. She'll go back for seconds, thirds, fourths, and fifths. You know, um, so I'm like, dang, grandma, like you gonna put these folks out of business? Like you really gonna clean them out? Like you, but that's how she was though. She loved you, but she didn't mind cussing you out at the same time. Um, so needless to say, from that point on, we never really went to all you can eat buffets anymore, because she hated spending that much money just for me to only eat one plate. So, but like I said, I had a small appetite. I wasn't finna overcrowd my stomach like she did. And I say that with love too. Cause like I said, we would always be joking and clowning around with each other. We just had that type of relationship, you know. Um, and it was real special, and it meant it meant a lot to me. Um, it was a lot of things that me and my grandmother uh, we did together, But as time went on, her health started to decline, and yeah, it just was never the same once once her health started to fail. And a lot of people don't understand that I was the only one doing everything for my grandparents. I was the only one that was taking care of them. Because my grandmother and my grandfather, both of their health started to decline. My grandfather had a stroke. My grandmother, she had diabetes, um, asthma, I believe. She she was on all types of medication, and it was just a rough time. I'm not gonna go into all the details, but it was rough. You know, looking after um looking at the two grandparents by yourself. I mean, I literally did not have any help, like at all. Um, I literally didn't have any help. And my grandmother, and I really get teary eyed when I talk about this. But my grandmother, she would always ask me, "Am I a burden to her? Am I a burden to her?" She would always ask me that, and she would have tears coming down her face. I'd be like, "No, you're not a burden." You know, um, because it was just a situation that was stressful to me. You know, being the only one doing everything for your grandparents without no assistance, no help. You know, that part was stressful. It wasn't the fact that I hated taking care of my grandmother. I love my grandmother. I love both my grandparents. You know, and I would you know give them the shirt off my back, which I'm pretty sure they would do the same for me. The thing is, it became overwhelming. You know, I felt like I had to put my life on hold, to take care of them. It, to be honest with you, wasn't up until after their passing. Like I'm literally just now starting to find my own way and find out what I want to do with my life and just trying to find myself in general. You know, but that was a tough period. Looking at both of my grandparents by myself, and I keep repeating by myself because I can't put emphasis on that enough. Like I was literally alone. I had to do everything for them. Pick up their medication. I had to take them to their doctor's appointments. Man, I mean, the only thing I would say is that I wish I had some help. I wish I had some assistance. That part was stressing me out. The fact that I didn't have no one, like literally no one, to help me with my grandparents. That part was stressful. Not the fact that I hated it because I don't mind doing it. I didn't mind doing it, but it's just the situation in general that caused me to just be so frustrated at times. So when she asked me, was I a burden to her? No, no. I mean, was she a burden on me? Wait, yeah. She would ask me, is she a burden to me? And I would tell her, no. That's not the case. You know, that's not the case. She I love my grandparents. I would literally do anything for them. But that was just a situation in general that I had a problem with. You know. Not her specifically, just the situation. So, you know. But yeah. So I mean, but yeah, my grandmother, she was pretty laid back, wasn't too too far out there or too, but man, I got so many stories I could tell. She would literally try to make up for my mother's passing by spoiling me, I guess what most people would call it. But that was her way of showing me love, though. She would always spoil me to death. My living room would look like a toy factory every Christmas. But it wasn't the toys that I enjoyed most about the holidays. It was just spending time with my family and I guess that's why the holidays just seem so dark now because without my mother, without my grandmother, it's just a dark place, a dark, empty space in my life without them. and nobody understands. But that's why I'm telling y'all the story. That's why this is story time. Um, yeah. So my grandmother was real special, and I wouldn't trade her for nothing in the world. Nothing. I had the utmost respect for uh for my grandmother, and that's really all she wanted. For you to respect her and her household, and you get along great after that. You learn how to respect her and her household. That's it. You know, you get along like peanut butter and jelly. You know. And so, but I was always very respectful though. I was never just a bad, kid or nothing like that. My mother instilled that in me when I was a young age. When I was a young kid, she instilled respect in me. So I was always respectful of my elders. But yeah, I ain't gonna waste too much more of y'all time. But yeah, that's how my grandmother was. And I have so many more stories I could tell y'all. So let me know in the comments below if y'all want me to tell any more stories, or if y'all just want me to stop right here. So just comment down below. All right. And I will see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all for watching. God bless. Love y'all. Peace.